Why do you think this fandom has become so increasingly toxic?
You know what it is? A lot of people who are fans of the show are very young, and they kind of relate to the show and the struggles of the queens on the show because they're going through things in their life, or it's like, you know, people who want to feel beautiful or want to feel loved and appreciated. And the one thing about drag that you can always relate to is that drag has not always been loved and appreciated. Maybe it is now, but it's really being appreciated by people who relate to that struggle. And what happens is that people don't realize that majority of the fans of Drag Race are people who are hurt. And hurt people tend to hurt other people. So when they become so protective over these queens that they, you know, have that connection to, they become defensive and they're like, oh, you know what? You're talking about Katya, like, fuck you, like, go fuck yourself, go kill yourself. And I'm just like, girl, like, for me, it's just like, girl, calm down. I mean, I get it as a viewer of the show and as a huge fan of drag. I'm a huge fan of Drag Race. But at the same time, I just feel like that contributes to the toxicity. And it makes it worse. And then other people see other people doing it and then they think it's okay. And then everyone starts to kind of gang up on one drag queen. And then it becomes like a whole bunch of different things. It becomes classist, racist, it becomes colorist, like it becomes everything. And it's just like people start doing the low blows just to hurt someone who, you know, came at their favorite person or whatever. To me, like, I think it's to me, it's just radical fanaticism. Like, it's just like, is that a word? Wow, I'm Merriam-Webster now, I could not believe it. It just becomes like a thing where people are just like going crazy. I don't know. Honestly, I just think that these children need to take a vitamin B supplement and like some niacin or really help them.
Do fans ever encounter you in person and say any of this, or is it strictly online?
Honestly, after season 9, there was a lot of people who did shade me in person and say a lot of fucked up shit to me. Like I've been told like, oh wow, like, you know, like there was somebody who tried to spit on me. There was people who like actually like tried saying they were gonna hit me in my face, like in person. I got a lot of hate in person, and then it was also like bad too because like a lot of people just because Valentina was such a fan favorite and because I attacked their favorite by complimenting her on national television. Oh, now that read off as a read. I said it very passionately, which meant I agreed. But also it was a funny moment. But people took it as hate and they were like, you're so jealous, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And people took that to their thing to kind of just like take it out on me in person.
Can we talk about that for a minute? This idea of intention versus how fans receive things. I feel like there are a lot of incidents on the show, I wouldn't even call them incidents, just back and forth, banter between the girls that the fans then take and read into these moments and chew them apart and sort of find some meaning in it that wasn't quite there. My sense from this always, and correct me if I'm wrong, was that you and Valentina genuinely liked each other, and it seems like you have a relationship off the show. And yet, the fans seemed really intent on this David and Goliath, you know, these two can't stand each other. What's that like, sort of watching the fans take a plot and just keep pulling and pulling at it?
Honestly, it was a shit show. It created a bit of tension, honestly, between our friendship at sometimes because I would subconsciously blame her for how radical her fans were. But then I felt bad afterwards because I realized it's not her. She can't control all these. She could just. It's impossible to just control all these people, and you know, she's not really big on social media because she just doesn't want to deal with it, and because she wants to like live her normal life, which I think is totally respectable. So I don't know. Like we always were like pretty okay with it. I mean, there's been a few times where after the show where I even said like kind of mean things about her publicly, which I do feel bad about like now thinking about it because I really do think that she is, she's not a bad person and I think that she's very exceptional. So she's totally one of a kind and I feel like, I feel like there's nobody's business. You know what I mean? I feel like if me and her are friends, then we're friends. And if me and her are throwing eggs at each other's houses, if we're fucking each other, like, it's nobody's business. Like, we're two people who have become public figures who by no means need to share our relationship with society or the public. So when people had come up to me at any given time, like, oh, are you and Valentina cool? Or like, I'm just like, I say yeah, but like, also it's just kind of like, why are you so invested in our friendship? Like, our friendship is beyond a 30-second, extremely memeable and Emmy nominating worthy moment on national television. So it's just kind of like, I don't know, I just think we're better than that. And what was the question again? I'm a rambler.
No, whether or not you think that fans sort of take things and spin them, find shade where there is no shade.
Absolutely. You know, it's just like, I can just sit here and be like, Evan, why did you wear that shirt today? And next thing you know, I set your house on fire. Like, it's just like, people took it as like, people took everything on the show like, oh, the you don't deserve Miss Congeniality thing, which received mixed reviews. But some people were like, you stole her moment, you're so jealous, you're this, you're that. And I was just like, what? Like, I was just like, like, you know, what? I also just didn't feel the need to explain myself after some point. Because I don't have to.